I think as a family, we really wanted people to get to know my dad, right? I wanted people to know him the way he really was and the way I knew him. And I think he's been mischaracterized over the years. He's been called reclusive and other things, and it's just not true. And I just want people, desperately want people to know that.
And you use a lot of the film then, the Super 8 film that was...
Yeah, family footage.
That people haven't seen before.
Yeah, in fact, I don't even recall seeing it myself.
So does it help jog your memory about what it was like growing up with Neil Armstrong? I mean, you remember, we see some of the footage there, and it's a snip of what must have been going on, of him playing with you and your brother and, and interacting.
I have a lifetime of memories from that time as well, but it's always nice to go back and see things that you've forgotten. So this film is really showing the way my dad was and the way we were as a family.
But you do also get that other side, the tension between him and your mother about, well, leveling with you guys, with the boys, about the mission and telling you about the dangers.
I can't fault him because he had a lot on his mind, really. They were preparing for the mission. I'm sure they're thinking about all the things that might happen and kind of processing and trying to prepare. I think were I in his shoes, I would just be thinking, how do I rely on that training? How do I make sure that I do everything that I'm supposed to do in the way that I'm supposed to do it so that the mission goes successfully?
Tell me what it was like to watch your dad be the first to walk on the moon on live television.
Well, at the time, as a 6-year-old, I was excited, but I was unaware of the danger. Right? I didn't really realize all the things that could go wrong. That didn't really occur to me until 1986, when the Challenger tragedy happened.
But your dad took danger in his stride, didn't he?
It was uncanny how even he could stay. That was a big part of the training of all these astronauts. That they had been test pilots. Their job was to react when things went wrong, and then to go back and report to the engineers that were building these devices. Now they can do all that electronically.
Let's talk more about the man and how he dealt with that fame when he returned. When did he realize that he'd become amongst, if not the most famous man in the world?
I would guess the world tour. And, great for NASA to have organized such a thing, to go to all these countries, share the learning, share the experiences, and try to use that as a platform to build bridges between nations.
But that was the thing about your father, wasn't it? That he didn't use it for his personal gain. Okay, there were some commercial deals, but really at the margins. I mean, some astronauts went into politics. One imagines he could almost have run for the presidency with that kind of fame, but that wasn't the kind of guy he was.
He was not really a political person. He didn't want a lot of attention, but he was an engineer, and he loved aircraft design. From a 9-10-year-old boy, he wanted to be an aircraft designer. And in fact, he only became a pilot so that he could be a better aircraft designer. Right? That's what he wanted. And so when he had his choice of anything to do after he retired from NASA, he became a professor of aeronautics.
But he didn't become a recluse. I mean, that's also the kind of post-moon picture of it.
And you see that in this film. That's what's so wonderful about it. He's always smiling, he's always laughing, he's always enjoying himself with other people. Those aren't the characteristics of a recluse, right?
But, I mean, is it partly in contrast with Buzz Aldrin? I mean, how did he get on with Buzz? There were tales of tensions between them.
They got along well, but they didn't know each other. They hadn't spent a lot of time on past missions, as a lot of the crews had. They respected one another, and they knew that they each had important strengths to bring to the mission.
What about for you then, those years then going through school? How many times did you hear "one small step for man"?
Yeah, not as often as you think.
Right.
Yeah, no, talking about my father, talking about that celebrity was just not something that was ingrained in me. In fact, it was quite the opposite. Stay humble, work hard, and be respectable, and
You could be describing your father. You inherited those traits from your father.
Well, yeah, I inherited or was taught them. Yeah. So, So that's the way it was in school. So, people say, tell me about, take your dad to work day. No, that just didn't happen.
Do you think there ever will be a return to the moon?
I do, yeah. But I don't think we've progressed as far as we'd hoped. And I think even the folks that served on the shuttle would say the same. But I really feel like now we're poised to take that, to start that next generation, if you will, of exploration. And the 50th anniversary, I think, is a nice launch vehicle for that.
What if somebody came along and said to you, hey Mark, son of Neil, 50th anniversary, you're a fit guy, we can train you up, let's put you back on the moon. Would you go?
Yes, 100%. Particularly if I can take my whole family with me. Let's we'll take the family dog. Let's all get on together and go explore. What a wonderful opportunity that would be for anyone. And I really think that it's in our nature to explore, right? It's in our nature to know what's over the hill, what's around the corner, what's beyond our field of view. And I hope we continue to do that.
Mark Armstrong, a chip off the old block, may I say.
Thank you so much.
Very good to see you. Thank you very much indeed for that.